Hello, welcome to episode, oh dear God, I've lost count. I believe 8, 9? I think the last one was 8. I think this one's 9. I have no idea. I've lost complete and utter track. My glasses are smudgy as fuck.
Cleaner cloth in the bedroom. You want one?
I have a skirt.
I have microfiber cloths.
My skirt is essentially microfiber.
Okay.
So, hello. We're gonna go with this 9. Episode 9. The apocalypse is now. Everyone gear up. I know that me and my roommate just did. We just got back from Michael's. And she bought both of us a substantial amount of yarn to the point where I don't think we're going to run out of yarn and projects to do for the foreseeable year to come, at least 2020. I do not think I'm going to run out of projects to make. Oh my God, there's still gunk on my glasses! And I forgot to grab a drink. So there will be a substantial stash positions section at the end of this episode. I have once again neglected to type show notes, I type them while I'm editing so they match what I'm saying. So I have neglected to handwrite some beforehand so I remember my train of thought. So if this one is a big disjointed mess just like last week's, I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with my rambunctious bullshit. Okay, so basically all of the past week's finished objects.
You got no idea.
You know what? I actually think that this one may not have been as alcoholic as the last one was. Remember the last batch? How, there was a definite buzz?
That was fucking sangria.
There was a definite buzz at the end of the last batch.
That was sangria that wasn't juice.
It's not supposed to be juice. It's supposed to be naturally fermented soda.
All I know is that if I get a buzz from something,
yes, we are in fact playing like it's The Office right now. Alright, so basically all of my finished objects in the past week were baskets. Ooh, hell yeah. She just brought over some tasty cashew bullshits. I love these things.
masquerading as good snacks.
There are good snacks.
Oh my God.
It's good snacks masquerading as healthy food. I'm so sorry if you can hear my chewing and it bothers you. I love you. Okay, so they've all been baskets. I literally don't think I have finished anything else this week because I literally couldn't pick up my Woodland Walk sock again until last night. So I was feeling super anxious, and a lot of my anxiety comes from things not being under my control. So I was kind of going through a list of things that were under my control, and one of them was doing my taxes, and then I realized I didn't have all of my I thought I didn't have all of my tax paperwork. So then I had to go text a whole bunch of people that I haven't had any contact with since fucking August. And they were like, oh yeah, no, you didn't actually work enough hours here in order to get the 1099, something like that. Whichever paperwork is the contractor paperwork. So, and last night while I was doing that, I was I actually want to dip my socks. I want to have a nice cozy pair of socks for the end of this month because I haven't made a wearable item for me this month. And they were my Pisces season item, my personal, for me, Pisces season item, because I'm totally not going to get the water bearer cast on any damn time soon. I've accepted that. I love it, and I can't wait to get it cast on because it's hopefully going to be one of those that I'm so excited to wear it that it just flies right off the needles. Hopefully. So, on to the finished object baskety things. Alicia, will you bring me the 2 baskets I made you so I can show the people?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna go through the baskets I've made myself while you do that. She's also apparently taking out the garbage.
No, I'm emptying my garbage in my room so I don't look like a fucking trash can.
Alright, so we have this first one. Basically, all of the baskets that I made, with the exception of the Astara one, I can enter into the Pisces season make-along. So if you guys are also part of Kalisha, Nadir Tani, Corky Money Craftcast's Ravelry group, expect a very large finished object dump post from me on the 31st, first-ish, because I want to give myself as much time as physically possible before I put this out there. So I have this little basket.
Scrappage for you.
Oh, hell yeah! I love scraps! Love scraps.
I make things too. Not very good at it, but whatever.
Do you want to show off some of your scarves?
They're not blocked yet. They look like crap.
Dude, I don't block anything. Like, I don't block the baskets.
I know, but it's curling in on itself and I hate that. Bye.
I recently taught Alicia how to knit. A couple months ago? Something around that. And so she's been taking, a lot of size 5 yarns. These are the
2 finished, I've got 1
the
unfinished.
Karen chunky cakes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing really, really well. You know, I think that the reason why they're curling in so bad is more because I didn't tell her to do enough of a garter stitch edging on it, on like the sides, to make it stop curling in. But also at the same time, they're very nice scarves. She doesn't twist her stitches, which is a problem I had for like the first, I don't know, I would say like 3 years that I was knitting. So she's doing really good. Everyone tell Alicia, if anyone's actually here, everyone in the comments tell Alicia she's doing great, because I appreciate it. You should share your knitting on Instagram too.
Okay. You know, I have your scarf to make, my scarf to make, because we're wearing matching scarves, damn it.
We aren't even dating. She's just the roommate. I swear to you, my girlfriend is a completely different girl.
These are for gaming friends. Since I have many.
She plays a ridiculous shit ton of Destiny. So does my fiance, but...
Apparently he won't wear scarves, so he doesn't get one.
No, apparently the only reason why he likes the socks I made him is because I made them for him.
Oh my god.
And the way he was talking was like if anybody else had made him anything, he probably wouldn't wear it. And that's why I told you not to bother getting yarn to make him anything, because the Goblin King's an asshole. I love him to death, but he's an asshole. Not as bad as my dad. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Okay, so I made this guy, and this is a worsted weight and 4 sport weights, I believe. Yeah, 4 sport weights. Down here at the bottom, it's 2 shades of blue, a purple, and 2 shades of blue, and 2 shades of blue, a purple, and a green held with the light blue worsted. And then up here, when the green ran out, it changed to a white sport weight. Then this one, I made this one immediately after I made this one, so it still has the green. It started with some of the leftovers from the blanket I made Alicia, and this little light pink stripe here was a leftover from one of those 2 scarves she just showed. And then a worsted weight with 4 sport weights, and it's the same as the bottom. It's just that the worsted is a color changing, and I used all of the teal in this one and all of the lighter, more like cloudy blue. Yeah. So this one, I made it with handles. I had originally been contemplating putting a snap on it, but I didn't make the sides tall enough. So we'll see how that goes.
There you go, you big baby.
Then we have these 2 that are essentially matching. And the only difference is that one of them I used single crochets and one of them I used double crochets. Or half double, so this is the half double one, and this is the single crochet one. And you already saw from last week the one I'm calling Grandma Helen's Kitchen and Earthlings, and then this one is Astare. So it's a variegated baby, pink, seafoam, yellow, these 2 different yellows in sport weight, and then this one doesn't have the white worsted, but I'm making a blanket. And you'll see that in whips. And then these are the 2 baskets I made for Alicia. So here's this one. I made her is even bigger than the Grandma Helen's kitchen. And Grandma Helen's kitchen is pretty big. You know what I just realized? I think I filmed in this shirt before, and I've been trying not to repeat shirts in videos.
It's fine.
But I have so many shirts. Like, there's no reason for me to repeat
it's the same
shirts.
shirt you've been wearing all day. I wouldn't expect it to change.
Yeah, but see, I would change.
I know you would.
Alright, so I made this one, and throughout it has a very dark green and a light pink. And there's a dark blue, a medium blue, and a light blue, and then there's a hot pink, a dark teal, and a mint. I kind of wish I had flipped where the dark teal and the pink were, so that the stripes were like blue, pink, blue-ish. But I like it a lot. I put handles on this one for her because she wanted handles. If I find more larger snaps, because I only have 1 large snap, we were literally just at Michael's and we didn't even look at snaps. I didn't even think about it. I'm an idiot. But that's what Amazon is for.
Look at this.
Yeah, they want out on the porch.
They like go out on the porch.
They like the outsides.
I know they like the outside, but I'm afraid he's gonna just walk off the porch.
This one is another one that's like would be a really good size for snaps on it to make it into a beach bag kind of thing. And then there's this one, which is 4, so this one's 3 worsted weights throughout. And then this one is 4 worsted weights throughout. So it's the darker teal, that hot pink, the darker gray, and then a lighter gray. And she's apparently using this one for her needles. These things. Now, that is the end of the FOs. And now it is time for whips. I've got a lot. I started a lot of crochet whips just because I literally could not focus on my 2 knitting whips. So these were just my Hexie Puffs that got shoved in here. One of these little baskets that I made was supposed to hold the Hexie Puffs, and then I kept putting projects in them. Oh, now I have to stop because the water's running. It's okay. I'm the one who asked you to get me water while I was filming. It's cool.
I was just trying not to get the bubbles to go all over my hand. What the hell, Kronk?
Oh, that's lounging.
That's Yzma. I can't tell them apart when they're sitting like that.
Anyway, so I have, technically I have 3 knitting whips, but one of them is officially hibernated, and that's my dad's gloves. For a 3rd check-in in a row, so 3 podcasts in a row, I have made 0 progress on them. I think I'm just gonna take them out, and I don't even know. Maybe crochet him something with the same yarn, because the gloves I'm trying to replace were a like Hobbit themed crochet pattern that I made him like forever ago I think it was when the first Hobbit film came out. There was a crochet designer and she put out like a whole like mega pack of patterns, and it was a free pattern pack. And it was like crochet versions of everybody's gloves that they were wearing. And my dad decided that he wanted me to make him the one with the cables on it. And I made them for him in a really nice gray, and then he promptly lost them. Yeah. Anyway, so my dad's gloves have been yeeted to the side. They are even in a bag that I can't see through. So they're going right in the bin, and I'm ignoring them until further notice. So, I don't recall if I had this one on the needles last week, because last week was like an absolute clusterfuck. But this is Jessie Mae Designs, My Little Secret Crop, and I'm holding a DK weight with a lace weight, because my DK weight looks like a very plump sock weight. And like looking at my Patons Kroy that I just bought, it's like the exact same thickness as that Patons Kroy sock yarn. And I've heard specifically from Kalisha that the Patons Croy is a plumper sock yarn. So like looking at this and being like, wow, that DK weight. So these are the two colors. I don't know if that's blowing it out or not. So the lace weight, I would say, is like a sakura blossom kind of color, but a little bit peachy. And I had 5 or 6 of these. I had a lot of these little donuts. Yeah, I got these the first episode. So episode 1, if you go and you look at the stash acquisitions section, you'll see how many I have of these. And then this was also that same day. But this one is called Gray Matters, but it's only got very small little chunks of gray in it, and it's mostly like green and sort of a camo-y color. So first of all, when I did my swatch, I didn't really like the way the colors were coming together for just the DK weight yarn on its own. Pardon me. I have allergies. I didn't like the colors, and I also didn't like how open the weave on it was. So I held it together with the lace, and I got this, and I really kind of liked it. So I think that right now I'm only at like 5 or so inches. Oh, I'm actually right at 6 inches. So for my size, I would need to make it up to 8. And the other night, I was really feeling discouraged and didn't want to keep going with this one. But suddenly I feel like, I don't know, I feel like taking like 3 or 4 days off knitting and just crocheting a whole bunch of random bits. Specifically what I did was I crocheted all of those baskets, and like this guy took me like 25 minutes. And then I made a whole bunch of granny squares and finished Alicia's blanket and yada yada and all of that stiff. So I feel a lot more confident and like excited to knit things. So I'm gonna work on my socks, and then I'm gonna work on this, and then we'll see, because I did just buy a whole bunch more yarn, or well, Alicia bought a whole bunch more yarn for me. It was all gift yarn. I appreciate all of this gift yarn. You're also probably seeing another thing, and I'll show you that in the stash acquisition section as well. So this is sock number 2 of my, what is even going on here, man? Oh, I have it wonky. This is the left sock on my Woodland Walk socks, and I basically had it like right there last time you saw it, and I managed to, over the course of the last week, you know, I think I forced myself, I told myself, like, I think what I did was I told myself I wasn't allowed to go pee if I didn't get it to at least 10 rows. So I knitted the cuff up to 10 rows. And then yesterday I got out of the cuff, and then I've knitted all of this today. I think actually I've only knitted like that much of it today, and all of this was like last night while I was doing my taxes. And I know that it sounds really weird that doing my taxes helped assuage my anxiety, but like I was super anxious while doing my taxes, because even though this is like 4th or 5th year that I've done my own taxes, it still just feels, it's very nerve-wracking still, but because it's something small that's under my control, that was like above my head, kind of deadline-y, I know that they extended the deadline because of current events, but it still felt really great to just get them done afterwards. And then, you know, knowing that you have that kind of bonus money, the way I view tax returns is like, you know, you were putting a little bit of money aside out of every paycheck all year, and then at the end of the year you have, you know, a certain amount of money, and you can go buy yourself something nice with it. I plan on buying myself Animal Crossing and some Animal Crossing themed yarn. So there's that. So that is the knitting whips. On to the crochet whips. So, in this basket, we have a whole bunch of sport weight granny squares. So I have 4 different types of squares, but these 2 the all white, and then this one with the purple and blue are the only ones of their kind. And then I have purple and blue like that. And I have a whole bunch of them, and then I have, so basically what I went through and I did was I crocheted a whole bunch of centers with the colorful yarn I had, and now I'm going back through and I'm just crocheting the edges with all of the white that I had. So each one of these is about 3 inches wide, and it's gonna be 6 squares long and 5 squares wide. So it's not gonna be a particularly big blanket unless I have like a lot of the yarn and I can figure out one of those like deeper joins. I think I might just do a slip stitch join and then do a nice border if I have a lot of the white yarn left over. So there's that, and I'm making all of those with a 3.5 millimeter or a US E. I have this guy, which is basically the blanket the pattern I used for Alicia's blanket, but just sized down due to the fact that I'm using a smaller hook and smaller yarn. And I'm calling this one the Astare Granny Ripple. And it's probably gonna wind up being a cat blanket. And I might even let it be fringed. Like, these are all of my yens, and I think I might let it be fringed just cause I think that might be a little bit fun. So there's that. The color pattern I'm using is the variegated, a colorful solid, the white, the variegated, a colorful solid, white, variegated, da 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 da. And the colorful solids I have are a yellow sport weight I'm holding double, the seafoam, and the pink. And I'm contemplating taking out Dad's gloves because that blue I think is really close to the blue in the variegated, and using that to add a little bit extra spacing to it. And that is all worsted weight or worsted weight equivalent-ish, and I'm using in a 5 millimeter or a US H. Then I've been doing a lot of yoga the past few weeks, and recently I did one with Nina of Brujadelena. Her class was wonderful. I was a complete jello noodle. I was at the end of it. I loved it. It was so great. Her voice is so soothing. She adds so many like alternative poses. And also there were a couple of times where I just couldn't hear her. And I felt like a big dingus because it was a Zoom call, of course. Or like a Zoom class. So I felt like a big dingus because I had my camera on, because I don't know, I felt weird having my camera off and like seeing everybody else. So yeah, but basically I was trying to crochet myself a yoga mat or a yoga blanket out of some of the random acrylic stash I had left in here. My goodness, there's so much crud all tangled up in here. Yeah, so I have pulled out that multiple times. So it's not, I don't think it's actually as bad a tangle as it looks, but this is basically the acrylic stash that I had before today, and I don't actually think I bought that much acrylic, really. I bought a lot of cotton, well, Alicia bought for me, a lot of cotton, a lot of sock yarn. And then I think the Lion Brand jeans yarn is a 50-50 blend. So, yeah. So that one is going to be taken out, and I'm going to redo it, or I'm going to reskein or reball everything. The Calypso Crab Jar Hugger I frogged, because I think I was crocheting too loosely. So, yeah, there's that. So, we've covered a lot of life chatter in between everything. We've covered finished objects. We've covered whips. I'm trying to think through everything I have going on in like the usual categories. Anyway, we're gonna just go right on the stash positions. So, my fiance went with a coworker on Thursday up to Jacksonville because his Xbox is on the fritz, and his coworker was already going up that way to check out a junkyard to pick up some pieces to fix his car. So my fiance, the Goblin King, had to go to the junkyard as well. And because the Goblin King is incredibly good at finding things, he managed to find me a sewing machine. Like, he even found one, it has a bobbin in there. Like one of the little plastic bobbins. All I need is some needles and a presser foot, and I'm in business. Like, it turns on and everything. It sounds good. Might want to grab a can of air and blow it out. But I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy to have this guy. That means that here in a few days, I don't think next week's episode, but maybe the week after next episode, you'll have some sewn FOs or some sewn whips, maybe. All right, now, I have it all laid out on the floor because Alicia was taking a picture of it to like show off to one of her friends and like be all like, haha, look at how much yarn I just bought. So I'm going to start with something that was definitely an impulse buy. Alright, so this Lovey Tops yarn. It's a little pink kitten. I couldn't resist, guys. I feel so incredibly stupid for having bought it. But like, it's just so frustratingly cute. And like, I don't even have any babies to like be knitting for. I'm mad. Real mad. I'm really mad. I feel so dumb for having like grabbed it, but like, it's a cute little pink cat, guys. And then there's also like I assume that's like its base thing to hold it in there. I also assume that there's a pattern on the inside, or I can easily find the pattern on DMC. Oh, interesting. DMC's website. Anyway, very cute little kitteny thing. Again, I feel so dumb for having bought this, but oh my god, it's so cute. Then we got some Lion Brand jeans, which is what I think that Brandon Black ball I have that's kicking about is. I'm really kind of bummed that I couldn't find the black version. They had the gray and they had the dark blue. And I believe that this is a 4. They say it's a 4. It's a very light worsted, if it's a worsted. And this one's like 100% acrylic. Maybe? I don't know. They do feel really similar. I felt like this one was a little bit more cottony. And the twist looks really similar, so I'm gonna say that it is. And this is the colorway Vintage. I just realized I still have to photograph all of that for Ravelry purposes. All right, now on to dish. Okay, we're gonna do dish stuff. Okay, so I have bunch of sugar and cream, dishcloth cotton, and then I have Red Heart Scrubby. The roommate is tempted to try and use one as a loofah. Not entirely sure if it would actually be soft enough for that, but like, I mean, Oh man, I can't even get the ball band back on it. That's a load of crap. Anyway, so this one is bubblegum. Very hot pink color. Then we have candy, which is like a pink and white variegated. Assume that this is zesty, so it's a pink, orange, yellow variegated. And then we have marble, and it's a black and white variegated. Then we have the dishcloth cottons. This one is tea rose. It's a lighter version of actually the peachy sort of color that I had made previous dishcloths out of. And this one is beach glass, which I had some other cotton that was like a variegated that I thought was called beach glass, but we have this one here. Then these two are they say that they're the scented ones. And so this one's chamomile. It's a very, very light peach color. It kind of just smells like laundry detergent, TBH. And then this one is a light green, sort of variegated one, and they claim it's aloe vera. Don't know about that one. So yeah, there's that. Hiya! And now we're gonna finish up cotton. We're gonna finish up the cotton here. So all of this is loops and threads. So these two flatter donutty ones, this one is violet, and this is the creme cotton by Loops and Threads. It is a medium 4, so a worsted, and I would say that this it's a compressible worsted because of the way it's plied. It's plied in a very interesting manner. And it's 87% cotton and 13% nylon. It's a very pretty purpley color. It is 432 yards, so a good chunk. And then I got it in pink as well. So it's very, very pretty. I really like it. So those two, I might actually turn these two into the yoga blanket, because I had originally wanted to make that yoga blanket out of a cottony yarn. So these two might become my yoga blanket. I mean, they're empty. Oh, and then these are the Loops and Threads cotton colors. Same weight. They're 100% cotton, 394 yards, and again, pretty standard worsted. Cotton sort of weight. This one is taffy, and it's got, oh man, let me see if I can get you a good, because you can't see the pale purple from the outside layer, but it's got a really nice pale purple. Like, it's got all of the colors that you see here. Oh, it's also got a gray.
I like that one.
This one's really nice. These three were so nice, and like I literally couldn't decide. Honestly, because of the yardage on them, I feel like it would have been better to have just grabbed like 3 of one and make like a nice summer dress kind of thing. I'm thinking that I might be able to get a like a swimsuit cover up or like a lighter t-shirt out of one of these. But we will see how that goes. I don't even know why I was trying to put that other one on there. Okay, and then we've got this one, which is called Wisteria.
I like that one too.
All 3 of these, like, honestly, all of the colors of this, the Loops and Thread cotton colors, all of them were so nice. Like, it was really hard to choose. So it's got pinks and like lighter purples, and this one just doesn't have the blue or the gray in it. I don't think it has gray, at least. If it does, it's a much lighter blue, like blue purple gray than like a true gray like the taffy did. And then this one, which is the very last yarn I have, is called Snapdragon. I didn't even check the color name on this one when I saw it. But that's really funny to me because snapdragons are one of my favorite, like, late spring, early summer flowers from up north because they cover literally the entire neighborhood where my parents live because they live way out in the middle of nowhere. So there's snapdragons everywhere, and it's just, so. We've got, like, I don't really like the mustardy color, but it kind of completes the rest of the colorway, and it wouldn't look quite as neat without that mustard, so I guess I have to be okay with the mustard being in there. So yeah, that is everything that the roommate bought for me in order to assuage me from stabbing her during the apocalypse.
Mind you, I bought myself quite a bit of stuff too, so I don't stab her.
Do you want to go through all of your stash positions on my podcast?
Nobody even get it?
Do you want to?
Sure.
I'm not
hand it to you.
No, you're gonna sit here and do it with me. I also just realized I didn't go through my sock yarns yet.
Go for your sock yarns. I have to finish this row anyway.
You finished that row.
I'm finishing one of the other humans' scarves.
Which is the same colorway as that kind of vintagey rainbow one. Do you have the ball band on that one for what the colorway was for?
Rainbow jelly, if I remember correctly.
Rainbow jelly. It looks like a very vintage sort of rainbow.
Well, because I ship Punky and Tangerine, and that needs to happen.
All right, so we've got
more than me and Devious do. In public.
So we've got some Patton's Croix, and because each one of these is a 50-gram ball, I did grab 2 of the 2 colors for mains. So I grabbed this one, and this is Purple Haze, and you know what? I don't think. Oh man, you know what? I don't think I paid attention to making sure I got the same lot number on these guys, but
they'll go well together.
Yeah, they don't. I don't see a big difference on them. Unlike when I got this other color. So, I didn't even say what color these ones were.
You said Purple Haze.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
All right, these ones are Purple Haze. See, this is why I have to write show notes, guys.
That's also what I'm here for.
This is the first time you've sat in the living room and I've done the damn thing.
Well, because most of the time you look at me like I'm the devil every time I show up here, so.
Yes, because you do this. You chat at me. Or you're grabbing fucking DoorDash, or you're making really loud noises opening your damn bottle of wine. Anyway, so there's this one, which is the, not camo, but cameo colors, which is one of the colors I saw online when I was looking at sock yarn from them. There was another one that was like rosewood or something that was really pretty. So there's this one. And now that I get it home and I look at it in like daylight, I also see that like, it's a very dark blue and it's a dark brown. So that this sort of gentry gray, like charcoaly color, it does still go, but it doesn't go as well.
That didn't go off.
And I've also noticed, now that I have it, that these two don't look quite the same. But I grabbed 2 originally from the front that looked exceedingly different, and they had different lot numbers. So remember to check your lot numbers, fam. So this guy, if you didn't read the notes or the screen thing I said while I was talking about Knit Crate last week, I got this one to be at least cuffs with that outrageous marled nonsense. Oh, I'm not talking about my notebooks in this one. The notebook is going to go into my planner thing. Anyway, so I got these to be at least contrasting cuffs for the marled socks from Knit Crate, because like looking at that yarn in the pictures almost makes me a little bit queasy, so I don't want to do a 1x1 rib in that yarn. So I wanted to do it in the solid. So now I have this charcoaly color and I have that Lion Brand purple, so I can make the decision on which one looks better when it gets here. And then I have more yarn for another pair of socks for the Goblin King.
Forgot we called him the Goblin King.
I call him the Goblin King, and my fiance.
He is a fucking goblin.
I mean, I call him the Goblin King as a reference to where his name came from.
Me?
Anyway, so these are some more Lion Brand 100 gram. And I'm now slightly worried that the yarns don't match enough to do this as the contrast heels, cuffs, toes.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, there's a couple of threads in the variegated one that are tealy. Anyway,
I mean,
so
if you have enough of the charcoal gray left over, you can just do that.
I feel like the
charcoal gray goes with everything.
It does, but also there's like a gray brown present in the variegated yarn, so I feel like it would clash. See? Anyway, so the variegated one I have here is called Taffy.
Look down on the floor and almost was snowblind.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Know your pastel basket.
Oh yeah, the Ostara basket.
You mean Easter threw up on my floor basket?
Yeah, and then the blue teal is snow cone. I remember there being a like bluier blue that I liked a lot that I was thinking about grabbing to make the Goblin King a pair of socks, and I think it was called like Route 66. I don't think that was a Lion Brand one though. I think that might have been one of the Patents one. Editing me, please fix that. Okay. Let's grab you a chair. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Alicia.
Hello.
This is the roommate.
The roommate.
All right.
Try to get the sun out of my eyeballs. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
I get it.
I will make slightly better arrangements for the next time you are on. Did you want to show them your embroidery floss too?
Sure.
Like, I talk about my embroidery occasionally when I make progress on it. I haven't made any progress on it at all.
I have
Each
not
does.
ever done any, so this is like first attempt at...
She's picking up a new hobby during the apocalypse.
I mean, what else am I gonna do? I'm not logging 9,000 hours on a Destiny, okay? I got Madden through the controller.
Alright, so,
Into a pile of yarn.
basically, so you saw what I did. I kind of clumped it by like the material and the like type of item it would make.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So, and only talk about the stuff we just bought. Don't talk about the stuff you already have, because that'll make it
much.
I know. You've got like the orange yarn.
That's it. And
All
the
right.
purple one that's at home.
So, what do we have here?
So, I have some chunky cakes
Yeah. So it's
for
Karen brand chunky cakes.
in ballet sorbet.
Yeah, and she has 2 of them.
Because matching scarves.
They're not going to be exactly matching, because if you look at the middle of the ombres here, they don't start with the same color. If
That's
you'd
fine.
wanted them to be exactly matching, you would start, like, make sure that they're the same.
Vaguely matching.
And
What was
okay,
that?
a tip, if, like, with my the blanket I made you, if I had done that all in one color, I would have wanted to match the inside of the cake with the outside of the cake so the color transition stays even. So if you want to make a super mega long scarf and you want to buy 2 of those ombres, you want to match the outside to the inside.
Okay. And this is one that's going, this is a Blue Moon. This is going to
Oh, talk
another...
about how many yards it is.
Yeah.
So it is
297.
What weight it is, so it's a super bulky or a number 6.
Yep. This one's going to another gaming friend, Clark. I can't remember if he said blue or brown, but he's getting blue. It's just how that goes. So I bought some stuff to make baskets with.
Yeah, she wants me to teach her how to crochet those baskets now, so we grabbed 2 sets of 3 acrylic
They're
worsteds.
really big, so she's thinking we can get 2 baskets out of each one. They're the Craft Smart, the 601 yards. That's a lot of yarn.
Yeah, as I said, I think that we can get
So
2 baskets.
in number 4.
Yeah, so that's a worsted weight.
Is it? I don't know.
So number 1 is, so it's really kind of confusing on the yarn weights things, because number 1 is both lace weight and sock weight. So that's a sock weight yarn right there. And then this is a lace weight yarn. So both of these are the same number.
Oh, that is really confusing.
Yeah. And then with like your super bulkies, so that's considered a number 6 super bulky, but also so is the yarn that I made your blanket with. And there's a significant size difference between those 2 as well.
Yeah. This is
So-
this is a theme for one basket.
Do they have colors listed?
They're all, this one's fuchsia, but this one's also considered fuchsia, and that one's called violet. I don't know.
Purple. Purple, fuchsia, violet, fuchsia. So it's purple fuchsia,
Okay.
variegated. And I believe the Craft Smart is the one of the Michaels brands, if I remember correctly. Loops and Thread and Craft Smart, I think, are both Michaels brands.
I'm just throwing them on the couch. I don't know what to touch, but I'm having an allergic reaction again. Joy. I'm allergic to everything.
She's allergic to Stelina, guys. The sparkle in my socks, she's allergic to that.
Stelina, I'm allergic to cardboard, the glue that holds it together, bees.
See, this is one of those moments where I feel very lucky to just have celiac.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of a bit more of a bitch.
So I got another Craft Smart. These are 716.
I think the solid colors
Are longer, yeah. The solid colors
Oh,
are...
look. So you were looking at the yards, meters. So you want to look at the yards on all of them?
Yeah, the solid ones are different than the variegated.
Yeah, and that's kind of a standard thing, is that a variegated will always be slightly smaller.
This one is the variegated is turquoise and mint and whoa, we're looking at turquoise. Aha.
So I think
Gentle Yeats.
we actually did kind of match all of those perfectly.
Well, they were
But
on the
they
shelf
also,
properly.
Yeah, they also had them like lined up next to each other on the shelf. Like each of the three colors was on one shelf, so it was like solid, variegated, solid all the way down, and each shelf was like a different color set, so it was really nice. All right.
This was the most aggravating thing to purchase because the band fell off, so this man had to go find a SKU. But that's okay.
This is also like from the clearance bin.
Hold that.
Yeah.
So they're both the chunky velvet loops and threads. This one is straight up gray, and it is 44 yards.
And I think this one's
Blush in 44 yards too.
Yeah, I would.
Because this is the general theme of everything I own now.
Yeah. So this was actually when I first kind of conceptualized the blanket I was gonna make her for Yule Miss. It was actually these two colors I thought of, because when she was talking about how she wanted to decorate her room and the Pinterest board she made for her room, it was those two colors everywhere.
There.
And
Don't
then
worry about me.
this was starred like right kind of between the baby yarns and the cotton yarns at our Michaels.
I'm glad she found it.
I saw it and it's just, oh my god, it's kind of sickening.
It is kind of sickening, but the thought process behind this is I write and I like to like rest my elbows on the table, and the table.
I'll link her fan fiction down below.
Oh Jesus.
She writes Game of Thrones fanfic. I also write fanfic. I'm not linking my fanfic. Cheers.
So the thought process behind this was I'm gonna make a placemat for underneath my laptop because it's hurting my elbows.
Yeah, I think you should also like, when we make a Ravelry account for you, I will show you. They like a whole bunch of people have made like armrest patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like kind of like a placemat, and then they like fold it over and they stuff it a little bit, so you have like kind of a lifted bit for your wrists, so you're not like,
yeah,
you're kind of like just
it, yeah,
or dibbing it.
Jesus,
I'm literally dib.
So
Well, actually, maybe I'm not dib.
This one's called Jump Rope. It's a red heart.
It's the jump rope hopscotch, and it is the jump rope colorway. And it's just like all sorts of like ridiculous frickin' highlighter colors. It's probably blowing right the fuck out right now. I'm 100% certain of that one.
Mostly, the only thing
Is
in
that
there.
everything?
Yeah, the only other thing in here is the thing I'm making tangerines with.
Oh.
Okay, so one of my gaming friends has his gamer tag is Tangerine Speedo. So our usual play group, I'm making everybody a tiny tangerine, and I'm just gonna send that with the scarf, and then I'm actually sending the tangerines to Tangerine so he can make elastic Speedos for all of the tangerines. I love him. This man is a treasure.
He is. Honestly, that is probably one of the most hilarious and entertaining things I have heard in the past few days. Alright, so you've gone through your stash. Mm-hmm. Do note that I will be getting scraps from all of those chunky cakes, and then...
Because don't you turn the scraps into the cat toys?
Sometimes I turn them into the cat toys, like the one purple one you made. I took it and did like a little stripe on this basket.
Dude.
All sorts of things.
What are you doing?
Like this gray here is a scrap from the blanket I made you.
What's he doing? Oh. Bunny hopping around. Awesome.
Hey! He's enjoying life. That's what he's doing, man.
Don't
he's
eat
enjoying
my
life.
yarn, bro.
My son, my cat son, he's being a little bit of a dick.
I don't know where my cat son has managed to. Oh, he's in a window. Cool.
Anyway, so we've got the stash acquisitions. Oh, do you want to show them your progress on your current scarf?
Ah, yes.
I think she might be a regular.
It's fine if anybody wants to see me at all. So, ouch.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see me, man.
I think you're pretty.
I appreciate that. You are a good friend.
Hold the ball. So, scarf so far, I've just been kind of...
Tell them how many stitches you cast on.
I cast it on 22 because that's what I did for all the other scarves.
Yeah.
The first one I made was the purple one, and that was kind of like my test scarf. Sorry, Jacob, your scarf was the test scarf, bro. So, yeah, no, I just kind of, because the chunky cakes are all kind of the same, so I've just kind of got the pattern down. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, so if you're wondering where she got the 22 stitches from, their swatch guide on the band, she grabbed the needles they suggest and cast on 11 stitches and was like, I would like the scarves to be about twice that wide, and that's how she got it. Now, tell them about the rest of your pattern.
So,
Since it's just something she made up. Or, well, I made it up and
you made it up and I'm doing it. So the first 4 rows are garter stitch, and then after that I switch
to a 2-stitch garter border.
2-stitch garter border, and then a stockinette. There we go.
Yeah, so as I said,
things.
she's only been knitting for a couple of months now.
It was before we moved.
I think it was like September or so.
Yeah.
Maybe August.
I think it was August. That was kind of a slow season for my job, and I was absolutely bored out of my mind, and I can't sit still, and I wasn't paying attention to my TV shows.
Yeah.
And getting lost in the plot, and I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah. So she's still basically learning what a lot of the words mean and blah, blah, blah. I haven't even taught her how to knit in the round yet. She did take my circular 7s, though.
I tried casting on those stitches, and I was just so tired and already irritated.
Because you were on the phone with your mom.
My brother.
Oh, it sounded like your mom when I walked in there.
I was on the phone with my mom for a little bit. God in heaven help me.
Alright, so usually here is where I intend to talk about life stuff, but I have rambled all over the place. So.
You do what you want, dude. I'm still gonna sit here on the couch.
I know you are.
Unless you want the couch. Do you want the couch?
No, I'm going to, as soon as I'm done with this, use the last of the light to take photographs of all of my stash and update my Ravelry. Then we're gonna grab your laptop and we're gonna make you a Ravelry account, and then I'm gonna put everything away, and then I'm gonna go back to my bed and get back to knitting on my socks and watching the YouTubes.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube too.
I had like a 300 video watch later list, my dude.
I have basically been watching Baz battles on military campaigns.
You are a weird person.
It's fun.
She's a Capricorn. BT dubs.
Hey, can you keep this somewhere since it won't?
Okay, so here we go. This is why you need a Ravelry account. So you have photographic evidence of what everything is.
Your photographic evidence.
Alright, so we're not even gonna bother putting that back on. We're gonna take Ravelry photos for you though in a minute. Alright guys, so we're all done here. I'm all done here. I love you so much. I hope you're staying inside, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy. I hope that all of your family is safe and healthy, and that you aren't going absolutely nuts and you aren't threatening to murder your roommate. Bye!